Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Cynthia Clark, and it is my great privilege to express my sincere gratitude for Dr. Philip Dahlberg's outstanding leadership and my genuine appreciation for the Nursing Research on the Green Partnership. I was honored to be selected the 2014 Distinguished Dahlberg Scholar, and one of my most enduring memories of that experience was witnessing the warm and genuine appreciation that all of the attendees had for this partnership. Everyone was celebrating each other's success and accomplishments, and I was especially moved by the high level of student engagement and enthusiasm for nursing scholarship and professional collaboration among nursing scholars, practitioners, faculty, professionals, and the professional camaraderie and collegiality between and among practice, academic, and research partners was truly inspiring. I was so honored to be selected as the 2014 Distinguished Dahlberg Scholar, and I extend my heartiest congratulations to Nursing Research on the Green as you celebrate your 20th anniversary. Congratulations and well done.
I'm delighted to be here virtually to extend my congratulations on the 20th anniversary of Nursing Research on the Green, to share my experiences as a Dahlberg Scholar, and then my journey to nursing research. So let me start with the scholar experience first. I am always honored to be asked to speak to nurses about research and other topics, and it was no different with this event. I also think the fact that I was president of Sigma Theta Tau International may have influenced my selection. After all, Sigma has been focused on research and evidence-based practice for many years. I chose to focus my talk on one of the pillars of my presidential call, creating welcoming environments. Then, as now, the need for welcoming environments continues to be critical. Equally important is the need to have a solid, evidence-based understanding of factors that contribute to welcoming environments. This evidence was the focus of my presentation. I was and continue to be so impressed with the organizational support for this event. During my visit, I participated in stimulating conversations, met with formal and informal nurse leaders in the organization, spent time with staff nurses, visited the posters, and of course asked questions, and toured the institution. All my interactions reinforced the importance, the contribution, and respect for nursing research that exists. What an incredible accomplishment, the work over these last 20 years. I've been blessed with an inquisitive mind. At least I think it's a blessing. However, it means I ask a lot of questions, wonder whether there are different ways by which to do things. And truthfully, what better way is there to answer those questions than through the systematic research process? Thus, my journey to nursing research really started as a young child. Certainly, my education provided the foundation for conducting research, and my academic positions motivated me to conduct research. My dissertation examined body image in obese pregnant women. I followed that with an examination of body image in ostomy patients, for which I and 2 colleagues received a prestigious Sigma research grant. I've examined issues with colleagues on students' comfort in community health settings, and I've been intrigued and examined faculty orientation programs, just to name a few. An important part of my role as a researcher has been to lessen the fear, and I quote, the word nursing research elicits in my students and some clinical colleagues. To that end, I converted notes I used to teach nursing research into easy-to-read columns that were published in a State Nurses Association monthly newsletter. These publications were combined into a booklet that was used by many nursing schools in the area as an adjunct to the required textbook. I think this booklet's success was due in part to the use of simple but not simplistic language that helped make the concepts understandable. I continued my journey in research by recently assuming a part-time role in one of the local magnet hospitals where I live. As director of the Center for Nursing Inquiry, I was able to work with a group of staff nurses as they moved a quality improvement project to successful completion, and with a team of staff nurses to write a research grant that was funded by a clinical specialty organization. While I no longer hold that position, I continue to live research by serving as consultant for research projects. Once a researcher, always a researcher, is what I say, and I really couldn't ask for anything more. I hope my story reinforces the important contribution nursing research on the green makes, helps demystify the research journey, and provides evidence that the journey is possible for anyone who chooses to undertake it. I wish you well on the journey and enjoy this wonderful celebration.
Hi there, this is Jean Watson, and I want to congratulate Dahlberg Scholar Program there at Gunderson and the university that's sponsoring this work. I had the privilege of participating almost 20 years ago when I was privileged to be a speaker for the Dahlberg Scholar Series. It was an opportunity for me to share my growing scholarship in caring science and some of the research that was emerging at that time, which since has flourished to the extent of national programs and outcome measures for patients related to caring science and care task processes, having the first opportunity to have patients' data experience about their experience of human caring in relation to their outcomes. So this was a special opportunity and privilege for me to participate, to stimulate my scholarship, and to be recognized for this work in the world that we share. God bless, much continuing success, and 20 more years to your successes. All the best. Namaste. Jean.
Thank you for the opportunity to share my experiences as a Dahlberg Scholar and speaker at Nursing Research on the Green. If I could categorize my experiences in one word, it would be atypical. That is because my presentations were scheduled for late April 2020, and after onset of the pandemic in the USA the month before, it was impossible to deliver them in person. I am very grateful to Karen Hayter, who helped me through the entire process, and Sarah Schrader, who supported me in how to use the webinar system to deliver my talks remotely. Other reflections include feeling very honored to be invited to be the Dahlberg Scholar and Nursing Research on the Green speaker, and to join a long line of distinguished nurse scholars who came before me. Learning a lot as I reviewed the literature and updated my knowledge on the number of topics in preparation for 3 new presentations. Initial disappointment as I realized that I could not be able to meet colleagues and make new friends, interact, and celebrate with them informally, answer questions, and share ideas as expected at an in-person event. Concern over delivering 3 quality presentations remotely using a system and process I was completely unfamiliar with. Misgivings about my ability to create a coherent talk for my Nursing Research on the Green presentation, quote, what we know, what we do, the challenges of evidence-based care for older adults with mental health issues, unquote, and to effectively blend topics recommended by the Planning Committee and my own areas of expertise in a meaningful way. And lastly, surprise and joy upon seeing Nursing Research on the Green materials that featured an Irish proverb that I love, quote, it is in the shelter of each other that people live, unquote. Being 77% Irish myself, that touch meant a lot to me last April, but means even more for nursing and our country today. I became a nurse researcher unexpectedly, but in retrospect, I could not have selected a more interesting and satisfying career that now, some 40 years later, I am still passionate about. After receiving my BSN, I spent 3 very busy years as a Navy nurse during the Vietnam War. Most of those years were spent on a naval base in Guam, where we received casualties who were air evac'd from Vietnam throughout the day and night. As nurses, we worked wherever it was the busiest, labor and delivery, operating room, triage, and so on. During those years, I developed both my clinical skills and confidence as a clinician, but I also recognized I had a lot to learn. So I returned home in 1974 and entered a 3-semester non-thesis master's program at the University of Iowa College of Nursing, intending to advance my clinical skills. I also needed to work part-time while a graduate student, but the only appointment available was a research assistant to one of the first federally funded nursing research projects. This was before NINR. The award was to Dr. Ada Jaycox, examining clinical interventions for pain. Reluctantly, I took the job, even though I had not yet taken a research methods course and had no appreciation for what nursing research was or what it could do. Over the course of my master's education and service as a research assistant, my understanding and appreciation of the important roles a nurse researcher like Dr. Jaycox could play in the discovery and implementation of strategies that improve the quality of life of patients grew exponentially. Clinical nursing research became something I wanted to do, so I set about preparing myself, guided by additional coursework and the mentorship of Dr. Jaycox. My 3-semester program turned into 2.5 years in the master's program, including additional statistics and philosophy of science courses and a thesis. Dr. Jaycox created opportunities for me, including increasing research responsibilities and publication and presentation opportunities while a master's student. She recommended I enroll in a doctoral study to further my career goals. At that time, in 1976, there were only a handful of PhD in nursing programs available in the country. The University of Illinois at the Medical Center in Chicago was the closest one to my home in Iowa City, and so, upon completion of my master's degree, I applied and was accepted into that doctoral program and commuted there for the next 4 years to obtain my doctorate. That was the beginning of my passion for nursing research. Yours truly, Dr. Kathleen Kitty Buckwalter.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Rana Limbo, and I'm the director and co-founder emerita of Resolve Through Sharing, which is a bereavement program that began here at Gunderson Lutheran in 1981. I was selected as a Dahlberg Scholar a few years ago, and when I even hear that term, I get excited. It is absolutely one of the highlights of my career, and I applaud Gunderson for taking on this important issue of nursing research and application to clinical practice. As the scholar, I was able to look back over my career and bring together so many ideas, research I had done myself, research from other people, and put them all together with videos, and I spoke for a wonderful audience. And it was very, should I say, engaging, compelling to be there doing this under the auspices of Gunderson Medical Foundation. I'm also an advocate and a clinician and researcher in the area of perinatal bereavement. My nursing career actually started as a maternal child nurse. I was a mother-baby nurse at a hospital in Denver, and I always was interested in the people that were there and had some kind of sadness or issues that were bothering them at the time. And certainly when I learned more about perinatal bereavement and the death of a baby, I was very interested in helping these families. I was at the right place at the right time because Gunderson started the Resolve Through Sharing program and asked me to be the first coordinator, which I did in 1981. And it led to early research in the field of miscarriage with my colleague, Dr. Sarah Wheeler. We were working with clinicians who were caring for women who experienced miscarriage, and they were asking us questions about exactly how do we do this. And Sarah and I decided to take this on and learn more about the experience of miscarriage. We did a longitudinal study of 70 women over a year, and we learned that there were about 75% of the women who actually grieved this loss and about 25% who did not. That was absolutely new information at the time, and it went on to become the foundation for other people's verification and validation studies. So because of the interest that I had in the bereavement field, I have continued to do research in miscarriage and also read other people's research. So I am so grateful for Nursing Research on the Green, the Dahlberg Scholarship, and what all of that has contributed to my career. I really do thank you a lot.
It's a delight to share the lived experience as being a Dahlberg Scholar at the Nursing Research on the Green in April of 2018. There had recently been a major snowstorm in Wisconsin, which was surprising to me as a Virginia resident. I arrived on April 25th, and there was a fantastic honor dinner that was held with the system research champions and other clinical leaders. It was a perfect kickoff to the rest of the week. Over the course of Thursday and Friday, I was able to meet so many of the Gunderson team. At breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, and tours and meetings, I was part of the Gunderson clinical and research world. I was able to meet with the Medical Foundation for breakfast and to conduct a forum for nurse managers. I provided 2 keynotes for different audiences with an interprofessional presentation on Friday afternoon. My research interests began early in my nursing career when I had experiences with a wound ostomy nurse mentor who early on engaged me in a research study about skincare. She taught me the importance of both following evidence-based clinical protocols, but also that researchable questions need to be developed and new knowledge generated by nurses. She taught me that research is part of each nurse's practice. This led to my recent opportunity to stand up the O'Neill Center, a center to advance the knowledge about patient and family engagement. During my 5-year tenure leading the work of that center, I was able to generate a research portfolio of multi-site studies, examining the factors that impact a person's capacity to engage in their care. The development of the Person Engagement Index was a key contribution to the science in this space. In closing, I would like to share what the experience being at Gunderson Health System was like. There was a welcoming, warm, and inclusive environment that made me feel a level of comfort and ability to make new friends in 3 short days. The poster session and presentations of the Nursing Research on the Green displayed an excellent level of scholarly rigor and exchange of information. The work that Gunderson is doing is grounded in caring for the community, and the system has a legacy of service. I was thrilled to be informed that I had been selected as the Dahlberg Scholar and even more honored to have participated in this wonderful scholarly work. Thank you for inviting me to share my story.
Congratulations on the 20th anniversary of Nursing Research on the Green. What a beautiful celebration during a particularly challenging time for healthcare in our country and around the world. We all need this celebration. It is my deepest pleasure to reflect on my experience as a nurse researcher and the honor I feel in serving as a Dahlberg Scholar. Thank you for this opportunity. 2 key ideas come to mind. First, thinking like a nurse researcher doesn't have a starting point. I'm unable to determine when that thinking began. I could never say that I donned my nursing research hat in my undergrad program, or my first nursing position, or in grad school, or as a faculty member. Pinpointing a time when my nursing research began feels trivial, dull, even banal. Nursing research has always been. It grew throughout my life, sometimes in painful spurts and sputters, but it grew and is grounded in the curiosity, the seeking, the learning of my childhood. We all must take others by the hand and by the heart during their journey, from the cradle onward. I was most fortunate to have that learning nurtured by so many others. Serving as a Dahlberg Scholar helped me to rethink who I am, what I do, and how I do it. For that, I am most grateful. Maybe the Dahlberg Scholar experience helps everyone mirror their work, reflect on their goals, and re-examine their philosophy. Similarly, living nursing research doesn't have an endpoint. Nursing research will never arrive safe in port. It will never achieve all. It will never be finished. Nursing research is all of life. It doesn't end in terminal degrees or platinum-paid positions. Now, more than ever, nursing research must risk wrecking storm-battered waters. We must be the shoulders frontline nurses can stand on and rest on. We must extend our arms in an open embrace to all our colleagues and to all whom we serve. Perhaps more than ever, we must be nurse researcher activists. Thank you for your leadership in nursing research. Here's to another 20 years and far beyond.
Hi, my name is Kathy Delaney. I was honored in 2019 to deliver the Dahlberg lecture series. It was such a wonderful experience for me to be at Gunderson. I learned a great deal and came to appreciate the system. Also appreciate the Dahlberg Lectureship series. There's 3 reasons I think it's particularly important to our profession. Number 1, as my mentor once told me, structure organizes behavior. And so we need structures to move evidence into practice. I think the lectureship series provides that structure where people come and present what they know about a substantive area to a large group of staff. I think the second thing that the Dahlberg series puts in place is that it provides an inspiration. It inspires people to want to practice better. And I think just handing people the evidence isn't enough. You have to make them want to start using it in practice. I think the third element of the lectureship series is that the leadership in Gunderson has a deep belief in what they're doing, of the potential of staff and the potential of research to improve practice. That the leadership group's belief in that comes through in every interaction. So I'm hoping that the series moves forward even in these uncertain times. And I, again, want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to present. Thank you very much.
Hello to all. Thank you for your invitation to co-participate in this year's Dahlberg Scholar and Research on the Green event. I will never forget the call to inform me that I was chosen for this honor in 2013. I was so humbled and indeed intimidated, in particular to discover that at least 2 of my heroes, including Dr. Jean Watson and Dr. Jo Ellen Kerner, were previous Dahlberg Scholar honorees. I was most impressed with the enthusiasm of the audience members and many poster presenters. The community-wide interinstitutional representation, as well as interprofessional participants, were memorable. I really enjoyed reviewing the many posters and found it so inspiring to see nursing scholarship deeply embedded in the culture. It was indeed a high honor. How did my nursing story lead me to nursing research is a great question to answer. I still have the heart and sensibility of a staff nurse. Many of the principles of leadership were highly informed by my experiences as a staff nurse and engagement with the social theory of dissemination of an innovation. In the early to mid-70s, the focus of my nursing career centered on perinatal high-risk nursing. I was a staff nurse, charge nurse, and a transport nurse at the genesis of neonatal intensive care nursing. I became at ease with the beginning of a body of clinical knowledge as it emerged. My educational, clinical, and professional questions were along the lines of inquiry, not research per se. In the mid-90s, my professional passion was related to the emergence of holistic nursing as the newest subspecialty in nursing. To that end, my educational path led me to seek a PhD in holistic health and to complete my dissertation entitled Eco-Spirituality, a Dimension of Holistic Nursing. I accepted the role of Director of Integrated Services at Woodwinds Health Campus. Many of my previous professional roles were informed by principles that were formed as a staff nurse or nursing leadership. Here are a few principles which informed change agency and to help create a culture of professional inquiry. If a part-time night nurse isn't familiar with a practice or policy change, you still have work to do. Create a culture of why not instead of we never did it that way before. Don't ask anyone to do anything I haven't done or couldn't do. Lead by example. You are who you hang around with. Remember the lessons you learned using beginner's mind when you were leading the new body of knowledge related to NICU nursing. Learn by doing. Engage staff nurses in participating in nursing inquiry projects as research study members. When it comes to influencing the institutional culture of clinical research, begin by deeply embedding the language of inquiry into everyday nursing actions and expectations. The integration of holistic nursing modeled my previous experiences in influencing the new, at the time, integration of neonatal intensive care and perinatal high-risk care. These steps help to embody the path of inquiry to clinical nursing research. Develop an institutionalized data collection by integrating an IRB-approved Healing Arts Therapy Registry. Lead the newly formed Holistic Practice Council with interdepartmental members. Integrate nursing inquiry into the overall culture by development of a holistic nursing newsletter. Embed updated information into formal policies and procedures, discussing research activities at monthly meetings. Begin by facilitating a hospital-wide holistic nursing survey to identify knowledge deficit and to solicit staff nurse opinion. Invite Holistic Practice Council members to participate in an IRB-approved study related to the question of staff nurse perceptions of a healing environment. Mentor the process of the steps to submit the results of the study for publication. Advance from quality assurance activities to the details of facilitating IRB-approved outcome studies. I felt great professional influence and accomplishment when I would hear from staff nurses. It was a deep lived experience, or staff nurses relaying to patients and families, in our clinical experience, patients report a statistically significant reduction in pain or nausea when using a healing art therapy such as the use of essential oils, healing touch, or acupuncture. Taken as a whole, deeply, deeply rewarding.